everyone. Welcome to Boyo and the Beard. This is Boyo, Beard. B, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Just got the kiddo down, ready to talk some football for sure.
It's been a long time. I've been rocking Big Lots Connection for
Yeah,
for a very long time. Got out of Spectrum here recently, back on a Google Fiber as of yesterday. Brian, I don't know if this is something in the medical field where all these patients come to you and they say, "Man, I didn't know I felt that bad. I just kind of got used to it." That's what I've been doing for like
yeah,
the last 17 years. I've been rocking Net Zero since '01, and I never got out of it.
yeah.
Um, Everything's
Uh,
crystal clear though.
yeah, we rocked the episode about a week and a half ago, and I just assumed you knew, and we were just rolling with the terrible quality. And then you watched about 4 minutes of it, and you were like, "Absolutely not,"
That's not true at all.
canceling that. And then I'm
No.
getting off the Big Lots connection. For those of you out there that don't know what Big Lots is, it is a store like a Walmart, but 10 times worse. So,
Okay. To be fair, they've rebranded here recently. They're up and coming again. They got some
yeah,
nice
right.
patio furniture. To be fair, you
For
need some
100
curtains.
bucks.
You need some curtains. You need a shower curtain. They got you. Low budget, you know, low budget
Yeah.
type ordeal, and it'll get the job done. So back to the goodies though. We're talking the draft. I know we had a pretty good time on there talking with all the lads. B, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it's always fun to get some other people on, different perspectives, different teams. Long, what was that, 4 or 5 hours? Of
Yeah,
very long, good session of just good fun and a couple surprises here and there, and a couple of guys that you're hoping for to drop to your team, and it just didn't happen. But overall, great time. Pretty happy with how everything's turned out. So
yeah. Starting off pick 31, Felix Enudike Uzama. I'll probably say that wrong about 42 times this year.
yeah,
Felix though, what's his nicknames, or what are the nicknames he has?
at K State it was FAU or just King Felix. So
He's going to have to earn King Felix,
yeah,
to
for
be
sure.
fair. Don't know if he can be rocking that just yet, but
Well, it might be trademarked as well. Seattle Mariners pitcher Felix Hernandez for solid 15-year career. He was known as King Felix. I don't know if he ever trademarked that, but he had that name from way back when. So who knows what the situation is on that?
may not be able to rock it. But you're big K State guy.
Yeah.
Felix has been Big 12 Player of the Year a couple times. How
Yep.
do you pick?
Love it. And I think it's going to translate better to the NFL. K State, we rocked a 3-3-5. So one less guy on the line. Normally you normally see 4-3 or 3-4. But we had the three linebacker set with the five corners, DBs, safety, however you want to classify them, secondary. And only had three guys blitzing most of the time, and then we'd have the occasional one of the linebackers would help on a blitz. But he was getting double teamed a lot. It's kind of what he dealt with most of the time, and he made plays happen. And if he wasn't getting double teamed, he'd get chip blocked or something. But 2 years of defensive player of the year, 21 and a half sacks in 24 games, almost a sack a game. So there was a couple games where he was kind of a no-show against the bigger squads. Say, who picked him? Whoever picked Anton Harrison. Do you remember who that was?
Good God.
He was first round. Anton Harrison handled him pretty well, but I think that was his only really bad game versus Oklahoma. Didn't really do much. Kind of got held down by Harrison. So, and I feel like that's what
Jaguars.
Jaguars. That's why I feel
Jaguars
like
tonight.
they did very good in drafting him, and yeah, I think that was the only really big game where he didn't really show up was against him. But I obviously had a good game plan against him. But pretty jacked about it. Local guy, grew up here, always been a Chiefs fan, and now he's on the Chiefs.
Pretty cool story. They not sure if it's true or not, but it's been out there for a little bit. So at this point, I'm going to consider it truth. He's walking around walking around Union Station, rocking his Chiefs gear. No one had any idea who he was. Don't know if that's true, but that'd be pretty cool. I guess I didn't necessarily even see it'd been easily verifiable had I watched the playback where he was at when he gets called. But 8 forced fumbles, decent production there. And the dude tackles with anger. He finished everything that
Yep.
he's tackling. So I do really like that. Probably rocking the opposite side of Karlaftis. My guess is going to be Karlaftis, Amnehu, maybe some Noddy, Coburn, later guys who are rotational. Chris Jones, and then King Felix. You got Dana on the line as well. So that's some depth that you really beefed up on that defensive line with. So pretty good to see.
Well, and I also think we're going to go another veteran at some point, whether that's Carlos Dunlap again for another go round for 2 or 3 mil, and most recently talking about Frank Clark coming back. I don't know if that's actually been a thing talked about, but Chris Jones just throwing it out there. So if we can get him back for the right price, I wouldn't be too upset about that. But his hit this year was about to be 21 million or something like that. And
Yeah.
that's nowhere. Those guys should be T.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, even though Donald's more on the interior, but T.J. Watt-esque would be what I'd be happy with. Max Crosby would be another guy I'd put up in that range.
Bosa,
yeah. So I wouldn't feel. I'm glad they cut him to get rid of that, but I'd be fine with 5 to 7, 5 to 8 mil range. But I don't think we have any money now unless Mahomes moves some stuff around. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think we're sitting less than 3 million on the cap space here right now. Chris Jones, there's a possibility of him still moving some money around. Possibility of Patrick Mahomes. I think Chris Jones is more likely to than Patrick Mahomes. But given the recent quarterback restructures, extensions, what may have you, it's a possibility that Patrick Mahomes moves it. But Chris Jones, I think, is more likely to move than Patrick at this point.
We need to make more money to pay Chris Jones is what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll figure out something extension-wise, and Chris Jones' cap hit this year will probably be 4 to 6 mil, and they'll convert the rest into signing bonus or something. Kind of move it to the next couple of years and have it be a small hit this year. That would be the best way, in my opinion, is to extend him and push off some of that money until the future years and give us 8 to 10 mil of room to figure out what we want to do. If we want to get another guy or whatnot, it'd also be jacked with giving Snead an extension, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Yeah, they get a lot of youngsters in the secondary, so I hope Snead gets re-signed, extended, but I don't know.
He's probably looking at a Travarius Ward deal, would be my guess.
Good player, both of them. So we'll see. Going out to pick 55, we take the first wide receiver for the Chiefs, Rashee Rice, wide receiver, SMU. What are you thinking?
Loving it. I feel like we were going to go edge, receiver, and tackle the first 3 rounds, and that's exactly what we did. I didn't know which way we were going to go. Preferably, would have liked a different receiver, but those first 4 went off the board
pretty quick
out there at the end of the first round. So glad they didn't kind of give it everything in the draft capital to try and move up there, because it would have been probably 2nd or 3rd round to move up to where those guys were getting drafted. A lot of production from him. Smaller school in the grand scheme of things when it comes to that, but at the same time, there's studs that come out of these small schools. Antonio Brown before he went psycho. Cooper Kupp, top receiver in the league.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. They just got to develop correctly and be in the right system, and I think it'll work out. I mean, he had a lot of production. He had 1,000 yards last year, and I think he had double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, I wrote it down. Junior year, he's 64 catches, 670 yards, 9 touchdowns. Comes back as senior year, 96 receptions, 1,355 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And I like the pick. I know Zay Flowers, and those other guys that had different skill sets. Zay Flowers is more of the slot guy. Quentin Johnson, the streaky, go up and get it, tall guy. I feel like what the Chiefs needed was Juju Smith-Schuster, ex-receiver, possession guy that not really making the deep, long routes, but being sure-handed, making the short, catchable balls that Patrick needs every now and then. So we'll see how that translates to the NFL. If you look at our history with receivers from Andy Reid's draft classes on the Chiefs, Tyreek Hill is probably the only one that's really gotten playing time. So I think we'll kind of ease him into it, and we'll go from there. Kind of depends on injuries and all that stuff as well, but I feel comfortable with Sky, Tony, and MVS.
But only because of Patrick Mahomes, right?
Correct, yes.
That's easily got to be bottom 5 wide receiver core in the NFL.
Yeah, but again, you can make anybody look good if you have the right guy throwing the ball and having the time with the line we're going to have. We beefed up the line. I think this year might be his best line he's ever had. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah.
Yeah. Rashee Rice has a 41-inch vertical. Only runs a 4.51. Yeah, I think they're going to be rocking in the slots as well, though. With him, did have 9 drops in 2022. Makes some unbelievable catches, but also kind of misses the mark on some of these some of these easy ones. Had 600 yards, 660 yards after catch. Can really make guys miss, but I think the separation may be a little bit of a problem, but if anyone can get someone open, it's probably going to be Andy Reid. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what they happen. Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill had the most touchdowns, 6, and then like 560 yards or something as a rookie wide receiver in the Andy Reid offense. So I don't know. Chiefs don't really hit on those young rookie wide receivers, but we'll see.
We're also not drafting where all the stud wide receivers go.
That's fair.
We're not drafting in the high or the low teens or getting Jamar Chase at 5 and Justin Jefferson at 17. We're not.
There's a reason you're picking there, right?
Yeah, we haven't been in the teens, and I couldn't tell you the last time we picked in the teens. Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, we'll see. Pick 92, we go Wanya Morris, offensive tackle out of OU. He started at Oklahoma here this past year. Played 9 games. Missed a couple due to academic suspension at the beginning of the year, but does have some familiarity with another Chiefs lineman, Trey Smith.
Yeah, played at Tennessee. Also, questionably, he's named after the Boyz II Men singer. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a pretty interesting fact. Someone made a GIF or a meme or whatever. One of their album covers, they put his face and it was like "Welcome Kansas City" in the background. So I thought that was pretty funny. It'll be interesting. I think he's more of a swing tackle currently, depth piece at this point, especially with when we filmed this episode the first time, we didn't have Donovan Smith on the team then. So speaking of, another reason why I hope you have a depth piece, in my opinion, is we signed Donovan Smith. Very interesting, very surprising. Didn't didn't see that one coming. Kind of came out of nowhere. If that was the way we were going to draft, but I think we're drafting for the future as well, especially with the third round tackle. I think Wanya Morris will definitely be starting next year at one of the positions, depending on what we decide to do with Jawaan Taylor. But I think he's going to try and learn from experienced vet and Donovan Smith. It'll be interesting to see how Donovan Smith plays being healthy. He wasn't healthy at all last year. Had some elbow issues and looked like a shell of himself. Besides the last 2 years, Donovan Smith has been top 10 left tackle, in my opinion. But the last 2 years, he's kind of fallen off. I don't know if that's been the scheme that they've been running with Tampa, his age, injury history here in the last year or two. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, he can get back to his elite status that he was a couple of years ago, and we don't get the 15 holding penalties of last year, where I think 4 or 5 of them were on touchdown plays that they had to call back. So,
those are probably all Mike Evans touchdowns too.
Yeah.
Which definitely hurts
Boyo's
fantasy squad. That was not good.
But,
I think Donovan Smith, the injuries, the age kind of priced in. I think initially we had talked about a 1 year, $9 million deal. That's not the case. 2.78, I think, is guaranteed for him. So
incentives is the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely Wanya Morris could definitely learn from him. Jawaan Taylor, I don't necessarily know. You keep him on the right side, and you plan on moving Wanya Morris over to the left. I mean, he did play start as freshman at Tennessee in that spot, freshman All SEC as well as freshman All American that first year when he was at Tennessee. So does have the ability to move over there.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
The sounds of it, Jawaan Taylor staying on the right side is what I saw. So
okay. All right. And we'll see.
Which isn't really a bad thing in my opinion. If Patrick feels the heat from his blind side, I'd rather have someone in front of him on his throwing side where he can run off to that way to give him more time to throw the ball. So not necessarily a bad thing, but it'll be interesting to see what we do with who we signed. We essentially got 2 new tackles. Drafted another one. We'll see how that pans out on what we want to do. And I think the Wanya Morris pick is definitely more of a future guy that's going to be a big part of the roster. So
with the signing of Donovan Smith, we didn't know that last time we had done this, but what does that do to the rest of the backups for the Chiefs? Where's everyone going to play at? Niang, where's he going? He's going to be backup right tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was going to say before we signed Donovan Smith, I mean, it also depends on what Donovan Smith shows in training camp. He could look terrible, and they could be moving pieces and trying to see what's what. Move Jawaan Taylor over there if Donovan Smith's looking bad. Try Niang at right tackle or Wanya Morris. A lot of good options to figure out, but I for sure know the interior is completely set, and Jawaan Taylor's playing right or left tackle regardless. So we got one open spot. I don't know if it's left or right side. They'll figure that out in training camp and OTAs to see whose spot that is to lose. But essentially, you got a tackle for both spots. You got Niang and Wanya Morris would be my guess is who's the backups for now. That's left, right. They got Dillard, Allegretti. They could play anywhere on the interior. We'll see if they decide to go get another guy to be a backup center maybe. I feel like Allegretti can do that if we need. Feeling pretty good with 3 or 4 solid linemen if something happens to one of those guys, we have a pretty good, decent backups. So,
yeah, I think of the squad. I don't necessarily know who put it out, but they had Kansas City as a top 8 offensive line core. which
Sure.
is good to see. Give Patrick some time and let him throw the pill. So we'll see
Not
what
mad
happens
about
with
it.
that. Yeah,
No.
not bad. Pick 119. We go another defensive back, Vatek Chamari Connor. This dude hits very hard. And I love that. Has played all over the field too. Nickelback, safety, special teams, cornerback. Think he did. 314 tackles all time at Vodtech. Ranks ninth. Did have an extra year to be fair, but was also a multi-year captain as well as at Virginia Tech. And I really like that. There's got to be a good reason for someone to be a multi-year captain. To be fair, it's kind of guys that you want in the locker room too. So what do you see out of him?
Like I said, definitely hits hard. No care in the world to go out there and just completely murder someone, which, hey, I'm not mad about. As long as they're not hitting me, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, also played all over the secondary. I bet he's. I feel like he's even played some coverage linebacker on a couple plays where he's covering a tight end or something. But you put that as secondary essentially. But a lot of people are saying that's a pick to relieve Snead after this year, which I thought was interesting. I know we're kind of limited on funds and extensions and whatnot, but I would prefer them re-sign Snead. Snead kind of does it all. Can play on the outside, more of a slot, nickel corner. Blitzes the quarterback, has a couple sacks every year, pick or two. I feel like Snead's probably one of the leaders of that secondary, especially with how young we are. So they're talking about him being that. I mean, if he's anything like Snead, I would love that. That'd be another good secondary piece to have. I think he'll be in some limited packages. He'll play a little bit. He'll kind of be like Brian Cook last year, where Brian Cook would come in on the third down safety role. But again, with adding Mike Edwards as well, I feel like
he's not going to get that.
He's not going to get that opportunity to be Brian Cook-esque from last year. I think he'll be more limited than that. I think he'll be a special teamer this first year, and then coming up in spot duty when we're killing teams, and or if we have a couple injuries, he'll get his chance to shine. But definitely a depth piece. Kind of figure out what we're going to do with Snead, I guess, is my opinion on it. So.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of youngsters in the secondary. Again, I think I ain't seen somewhere else. A top 10 secondary. If the guys continue to build on themselves, to be fair, so
develop.
They really turned it on here last year. I think one of our mates, always talks about the cornerbacks never seem to know where the ball was, and I think that was true at the beginning of the year, but they really did turn it on at the end of the year, make some huge plays. Really kept us in, some games. So
well, yeah, that's the other thing about our secondary. We don't really have that big name guy like a lot of teams do. Normally, if you look at almost every team, they have that one corner that's known by
just a shutdown,
just known by the rest of the league, known by other people's fans. I don't really feel like we have that guy. McDuffie was hurt at the beginning of the year, so we didn't really get to see his full potential. Snead would be my only guy, but I really wouldn't put him up there with the likes of Ramsey, Gilmore,
Gilly Lock, Sauce Gardner. Now you got
Sauce,
you got the kid out in Seattle, the rookie last year.
Harry Whelan.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll gotta continue building. So we'll see what happens there. I'm pretty stoked. I love a good hard hitter. Connor.
Go rip some heads off.
Oh my gosh, we'll see. Bit of a moonshot at pick 166. Kid out of Stephen F. Austin, questionably linebacker, defensive end. This guy's small. BJ Thompson. I think I'd seen some pictures here recently showing that he had bulked up a little bit, but I mean, he is going to have to pack on a lot of muscle if
Yeah,
he wants any shot at playing. I think 240, 240-ish is what they're saying, but
was the highest I saw on that. Yeah,
I've seen as low as like 215, 210. I
I
don't
don't
know how
know.
that's possible, but
I don't know what pick it was, but what picture it was. But I saw a picture.
looking like you,
I had bigger arms than that dude. Like it,
no chance.
he was more defined, but mine had like if you got out the tape measure, the circumference of my arm was definitely bigger than his. Not as
Brian,
defined.
you are rocking no pipes. Let's be real.
That's fair. I'm not going to deny that. But the one picture I saw, I was like, that dude's a toothpick.
No,
6'6", 240. I'm
yeah.
6'3", 210 on a bad day. So 3
Yeah.
more inches to carry about 30 more pounds.
I don't know.
Very weird pick. Very odd. A
Uh,
lot of the experts that I was looking at had him 7th round or undrafted
undrafted.
free agent pickup. So, but hey, I'm not the Chiefs. I don't do this for a living. I don't go out and scout 6 months out of the year, go down and watch these guys play. So, I mean, I would love to do that. That'd be awesome to have that job. But again, I've never played football, so I can't really comment and say, "Oh, I know this guy's going to be the guy." So,
Yeah. We'll be couch quarterbacks,
yeah,
and we'll let them know when we think it's a dodgy pick.
yeah.
Junior year, 26 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. Senior year, 25 total tackles, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. There was question as to whether or not he was 24 or 26. Confirmed now, he is 24 years old. So
Oh, that's good.
that's good to see that we didn't necessarily pick up some dude that was 26 because he would probably be playing in the XFL if that's the case. So,
Still kind
yeah,
of surprising. I have a feeling that's another reason why they moved, or a lot of people had him going undrafted, unranked pickup. Age wise, he's behind the ball at that point.
yeah. But to
Well,
be fair, he has a shot. He got it. He was drafted. He's in the league. Just got to make that roster, my good man.
yeah.
Hopefully, the best for him. To be fair, so
Um,
put on some weight.
I he'll he'll be on the roster. He's not going to get any PT unless someone gets hurt, in my opinion. Did you ever hear of Joshua Kendo?
No,
Well, he was our 4th round pick 2 years ago.
didn't play too much.
Still on the roster, dresses up for game days, but never see the dude. He
Oh
might be
yeah,
on special teams. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to who's making tackles on special teams ever.
yeah.
I know he's not a gunner because he's obviously a defensive end. He's going to be more on the inside. But Joshua Kendo, 4th round pick 2 years ago. Never heard a stat by him on any defensive stats. So I think he's going to be like him, where he has a roster spot every Sunday, but I don't think he's going to be getting much PT. I think it's more of a this guy's a freak athlete. Let's see if we can develop him into something. But I would love it. Change my mind, Thompson. Love it.
Yeah, it looks like Joshua Kendo, ankle injury reserve, injury reserve. Um, he hadn't done much.
Yeah, the injured
6'5",
reserve. That's
258.
more of a not really ready to cut this guy as a 4th round pick. So we'll say he injured his ankle at practice.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's like the taxiing the players in Dynasty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, to be fair, good luck to Joshua Kendo. I hope to see you on the field making a lot of big plays, my good man. And then, Keandre Coburn, pick number 194, big old defensive tackle out of Texas. Boy weighs 330.
Big O unit.
Oh my gosh!
As long as he is like Derek Noddy the last 5 years, 6 years, I'm happy with it. We just need an absolute unit to clog up those lanes. that's your only purpose, you play 2 downs, and then if it's 3rd and long, your ass is out of there. We're bringing in the blitz guys. I'm fine with that. Be in there on 1st and 2nd down on run plays, and you just get double teamed, clog up the lane. That's the only reason why he was drafted.
Yep.
So if you're anywhere as good as Derek Noddy, I'm fine with that. If you're worse, we have some problems.
I mean, to be fair, he is going to be clogging a lot of spots. I think if you line him up next to Chris Jones, 330 pounds is humongous. I think they said he's 6'2". He's probably closer to 6 foot, 6'1".
Don't care about the height. Just be an absolute unit and get double teamed every time and just eat blocks.
Eat blocks.
That's your role. Eat blocks so the second level dairy guys can come up and make plays.
I think I was looking at him, puts in a lot of effort, but can he do it all the time? Was a second team all conference in 2022. Had a couple of honorable mentions as well, 2020 and 2021. Was making like 20, 25 tackles a year, getting a sack and a half, 2 sacks. But if he does a job and it frees up a lot of other folks, that's all you need, to be fair. Yeah, I think for what he is, if he, just eats two offensive players, fine. So, and then going to our last pick, we got Nick Jones, cornerback, Ball State, made some noise in the Shrine Bowl, gets a pick. Allows one of the squads, I don't know, it's like 6-3 at the time. Gets a pick. Did have 12 pass breakups, 2 interceptions here this past years. Pretty long and lean, decent size, but don't necessarily know if he has the athleticism to keep up with a lot of the other players. Probably another special team guy, to be fair. 7th round, pick 250.
That or practice squad guy.
Come on, have some hope, Brian.
I mean, that's just a depth piece. You're hoping that dude's a stud. You're hoping you get a Jalen Watson out of that, or Isaiah Pacheco. You're just hoping turns into something. But we'll see how that plans out. We've had some pretty good luck and scouting ability the last couple of years with 4th round or later in the secondary. So let's hope that pays off. But that dude's probably not going to be playing that much this year besides gunner or special teams. So
Nick Jones, I hope the best for you, to be fair. I want to see you light some dudes up.
I hope for the best for all these guys, but I'm being realistic, man.
Yeah, you're probably fair.
No, Nick Jones, next Jalen Ramsey, 100%. Yep, we're locked in for the next 5 years.
Not a bad shot. Probably only 3. The contract's probably pretty small in the 7th round. But I mean, some of these undrafted free agents were getting more money. We pick up Deneric Prince for running back out of Tulsa. Pretty quick kid. I think for like $230,000, he gets a bigger contract than some of these 7th rounders. Remigio is another wide receiver. I'm not sure where, but he had a pretty nice punt return from what I'd seen. I know you have Richie James in the question. We're going to be taking some punt returns, some kick returns, but I mean, to be fair, we just want the ball out of Kadarius Toney's hands. I know he did well in the Super Bowl, but I do not want him hurt. If they're talking about him being the number 1 wide receiver,
yeah, you don't want him.
We cannot have him returning punts. So,
no starter should be doing any returns unless it's 2 minutes left in the game. You're down 4. You need a great return from someone. Throw your best guy back there. But yeah. Then we have speaking of undrafted, then we get a sign a lineman that was part of Tennessee's.
Jerome Carvin.
There you go. He had a 3-year deal.
I was looking at this beforehand.
I know it was multiple years.
Played 5 years at Tennessee. I'll find the deal later, but knows Trey Smith, knows Wanya Morris, I think a little bit as well. So we'll see how that pans out. Another lineman add to the squad. So I mean, if you're gonna find these little pockets of gold, I can dig that. In general, three 3 winners from the NFL draft. Who you got?
But I just want to be a little homer here again.
Oh God.
Chiefs invited K-State, our number 2 corner, opposite of Julius Brents, to training camp, and they did sign him today, this morning.
Okoye?
Ekwoboyo Doye.
Yeah. So you got a nickname?
No.
Okay.
Let's just want to go EBD.
EBD. EB. We're going to give him the EB clarification here this year. So the new EB, a pretty fast kid. He's like sub 4.3, right?
Yeah. He was good opposite Brents, but again, Brents has 6'4", same amount of speed as him.
Yeah.
Better coverage guy, but he did pretty well most of the games. He was hurt a couple games, had an injury later in the year, but happy about it. K-State, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Probably upset about Deuce Vaughn and Brent's both going to Cowboys.
Brents went to the Colts.
Sorry, Colts. Deuce Vaughn went to the Cowboys in one of the best moments I think you can see as an NFL fan. As a fan of family in general, we watch Deuce Vaughn's dad get to pick him. I thought that was unbelievably incredible.
Yep.
I can't imagine being in that position. I thought it was really sick to see. So good luck to Deuce Vaughn. Good luck to Brents. But most importantly, good luck to all these Chiefs players that get drafted. I cannot wait for the season. Brian, who do you got? Top 3 winners, NFL draft. What do you think?
Hands down, Eagles. Essentially, everyone that should have went beforehand just fell into their laps.
Yeah.
Super unfortunate, but hey, that's Eagles wheeling and dealing and trading Carson Wentz and trading all these other guys and getting 2 first-rounders every year for the last 2 years, it seems like. They absolutely killed it. Texans, again. Bryce Young.
Will Anderson. They lose. I mean, they lose their next year's pick, though. So
one of next year's picks.
One of them? Okay.
Yeah.
It's theirs, though, right?
I believe so.
Which is going to be the worst pick.
Correct. So, yeah. They're kind of
I guess, do we think that the Browns or Houston is going to be worse? It is the Browns pick, right?
I can't remember which one they gave. They either gave their own or the Browns. I would assume they kept theirs because they know, or they should know, that they're going to be worse off than the Browns. But Houston got their offensive, defensive leader, captains.
Yep.
I would put them up there. My third, I'd probably go Steelers. Yeah, I feel like they had a very good draft.
You get the big boy Broderick Jones.
Get your left tackle for the next 8-10 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They've had a terrible offensive line the last 3 or 4 years. Big Ben struggled his last year. He held the ball the least amount of time, I believe, where he was just trying to dink and dunk on 2-3 yard pass plays. And obviously last year, Najee Harris had 0 running room. Yep. So you get your tackle of the future. Then you go
Darnell Washington.
That too, but you also go homage and get Joey Porter Jr.
Really cool story too.
That's another cool story. And they had a couple other picks. I think one was a D tackle, defensive end for their 3-4 to pair up with Cam Hayward. That I was pretty impressed with. And there was one other guy that I feel like he dropped further than he should have, and they picked him up. So those would be my 3. How about yourself?
I am going to go – well, obviously, I think Eagles take it away. Honestly, all they had to do was just back up the truck and take whatever player was right there.
Yep.
Right?
They even traded back.
Yeah.
They traded
up one.
They traded up one.
They traded up one for.
But I still don't think. I don't know why they. I think they traded up because other teams were trying to trade up to get Davis. because the Bears were definitely not taking him. They were definitely going offensive tackle.
Or Jalen Carter.
Yeah, sorry.
Jordan Davis, the other big boy from Georgia as well.
So I think that's definitely what happened was the Bears weren't picking him, but someone else was trying to jump up and grab him, and the Eagles said not today. So
yeah, they stacked Jalen Carter at 9 overall. They did trade up 1. They snagged Nolan Smith. I was amped as we're watching Nolan Smith fall and fall and fall and fall. Thinking, God, can't wait. Of course, Taylor said, well, sorry to burst your bubble. If he's hanging out there, we are definitely going to take that man. And I've seen, videos of all the Georgia boys, kind of hanging out, doing God knows what, having fun, living life. They snagged Ringo as well. I think they easily won the draft. I'm going to go the other way, though. I think Arizona is a big winner this year. You snagged Paris Johnson at Ohio State for their left tackle, but you also, you questionably have. I think they did trade. I think Houston does trade their pick away next year. You questionably have the top. You have 2 top 5 picks next year, and if that's the case, oh my God.
How soon is Kyler Murray going to be ready? I would just tank that if I'm the Cardinals.
And I don't necessarily know if you can offload his contract, but what if you just trade Kyler Murray, snag Caleb Williams, and shoot, you can even go get Marvin Harrison Jr. Because I think he's going to be a top 5 pick too.
Those would be my 2 picks.
I don't know. Not bad.
Or you just keep Kyler and use those 2 top 10 picks on
something else. There's going to be a tight end coming next year. I know you're pretty amped about Mr. Bowers.
Oh, God.
And
I would love to have that dude.
And then Marvin Harrison Jr. You're gonna light up, man. Marvin Harrison. He just knows. He already knows the league. It sounds like he's in the weight room at all times, in the gym at all times. He's working on his game. He's ready. He's
real
ready
quick,
for
this might be blasphemous.
Okay.
But I
don't say it. Don't say it. I know where you're going.
Where
and
am
Bowers
I going?
is not that guy yet.
Oh boy.
What?
He could be the greatest of all time. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If he goes to the right system, stays healthy. That dude had like 12 tutties freshman year. Just was slinging it all around, dude.
Are you trying to tell me that he's better than Tony G, Shannon Sharp,
without a doubt,
Antonio Gates, Travis Kelce?
He's not better than Kelce yet.
Yeah, he hasn't even stepped foot in the league. You can't talk this kind of dumb stuff. You can't say these kind of dumb things, Brian.
I'm just saying he's better than any tight end that was drafted this year.
Would you be willing? I know past regressions. You've made some pretty bad, pretty dumb bets.
Some pretty good ones
that you've lost. Going against the Chiefs.
That never happened.
Yep.
Chat, everyone that's watching this, never happened.
This is not live. There is no chat. Comments let us know what the the bad trade or the bad bets that Brian has made. There's a reason why he's not on FanDuel. There's a reason why he's not on DraftKings. He's just
winning too much money. Yeah, you're right.
That's not true. All right. We're Eagles, Arizona. And then I'm going to go Seattle. I think Witherspoon,
they did have a good one,
opposite of Tariq, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba. And you drafted Zach Charbonnet. I don't necessarily. He's ruining fantasy football as we speak, Mr. Pete Carroll. But he's making them better. So.
And they just have a bad injury history with running backs, so that's not surprising. Your last 2 studs, Chris Carson and Rashad Penny.
cashed
cash.
pretty quick. Yeah.
So
So those are the three guys that I'm going to go with. To be fair, or three teams that I'm going to go with. I'm really excited for Arizona. Hopefully, who they snag Gannon down there? Is that their?
The other thing they should do is just if they're just going to tank this year, if they start out
should tank
0-5, 0-6,
shut it down.
shut it down.
Yeah.
Trade Hopkins, get what you can for them.
They got like 10 picks next year too, right? They
Just
got something absurd. You could make a lot of good moves. Absolutely
Also-
rejuvenate the franchise.
also the same thing as that. If you're 0-5, 0-6, trade Hopkins, trade Buda Baker. I think those are the two big ones that are big contract guys that they're getting in their later years. They want to win. They're not.
Buda Baker, is he going to come back? I mean, he didn't want to be here 2 months ago, right?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The two guys have asked for trade requests.
Yeah, just get him out.
Trying to get out of there. Get out of there.
I think
Take what you can.
if you're down 0-2, 0-3 beginning of the season,
I mean, they're going to be. Their roster's just terrible in general, and you don't have your starting quarterback. So
yeah, I think let's see who they start out with. They play Minnesota, they play Washington Commanders, and they play Giants, Cowboys, 49ers, Bengals. Their first win could be in October against Los Angeles Rams.
I think their first one might be Washington.
Washington? I don't know. EB's going to do some nice things out there. Don't count him out. Sam Howell's going to be tossing some tutties too.
Oh gosh,
Antonio Gibson, pick that boy up in your fantasy draft.
Oh, why is that? So you get all the dump offs and garbage time?
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine by me. Jahan Dotson, I think, is another guy that could easily. I mean, I like him and Scary Terry, to be fair, but we'll see. We'll see. Washington has a lot of work too. Chase Young, questionably leaving them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes on there. Real quick, I did, just to end us off, I did want to look at the Chiefs schedule.
Yep.
We're going to switch this up real quick. Oops. We're going to go down below.
There you go.
And, we're going to take a peek. I think the highest price game, I was talking to one of the guys at work, Phil. He was saying that Lions and Chiefs is going to be the most expensive game on the list. To be fair, they're dropping the banner. They're letting everyone know that they won the Super Bowl. But it is a higher priced game than the Eagles. It's a higher priced game than the Bengals. And
the Bills.
And the Bills, for that matter. So, what do you see about this schedule?
Love it. Besides the Dolphins and Chiefs game for me, I would have loved for Tyreek to come back and get piped at home.
Yeah, that would have been nice. He's been talking a lot of smack. Called us the Kansas City Queefs.
Sir, we just won a Super Bowl without you.
Disrespectful.
How's crying in that Miami Heat?
After being in the Heat this past week, I don't think that'd be too bad, to be honest. But I would have liked the Dolphins to play in Kansas City. I think they would have been really nice. But I think if you're going to have a international game, I do think the Dolphins Chiefs could be a pretty good one.
Especially the overseas games have been trash the last couple of years, and they've been terrible matchups. Wasn't last year's like Jags and
Saints played, and then Denver played over there as well because
wasn't it Jags and Denver, and then Saints and Jets, I believe.
Maybe vice versa, but
I don't know. But it was just terrible games. So
who was the running back that played for the Saints and the Broncos, both overseas?
Lat Murray.
Yeah, Tavius Murray. He was in both games.
But yeah,
didn't play half bad.
But we got 2 London games and a Germany game this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Jags, unfortunate. They get. I mean, I guess if you're going to stay, if you are going to go to London, if you're going to go that far away, I guess you'd want to stay there for 2 weeks. I think it'd be really tough. We went to we went to England my freshman year of college, and I can remember that first day being up for like 36 hours. I was brain dead. Luckily, we didn't have to play that day. We played the next day, and I I couldn't move. I felt terrible. Yeah, it was not fun. I do not envy anyone. And then you got to come back. So
Yep.
I'm not stoked about that. I think to start off the year, Lions could be some fun. I think their picks with Jameer Gibbs. I think Jameer Gibbs is going to get the rock a lot. Jaguars is going to be a decent game as well. I'm really eager to see what the Bears look like. I think that's a pretty expensive game too, if I remember right. Justin Fields getting a few new weapons, new offensive linemen. Jets is going to be a fun game too. I'm stoked to see what Aaron Rodgers does because I think he's going to be tossing around. Do they win the AFC East?
I don't think they win it, but they're up there.
Okay, they're up there.
I think they're going to either be 2 or 3.
Vikings.
I think it's Miami's division to lose.
Bills questioning coming in third in the AFC East. Oh my gosh. I guess it kind of depends on how does Von Miller come back, right?
Yeah, I mean they've fallen off the last 2 years. Or last year, I feel like they looked worse than they did the year before.
Yeah, I mean you can't really. They had a really really tough way to end the year, to be fair. So that was. I mean that's hard to get over.
Yeah, for sure.
Vikings, it'll be interesting to see. How does Addison play? How does he fit into the role? I think 5 weeks in, he should have a pretty good understanding of what he's going to do. But you're playing Kirk Cousins at 325, so it's not in
That's
that
a
early
dub.
slot. That's an easy dub. Broncos, I think, are going to be better than what they were last year too. I don't know how Javante Williams is going to be, but I think I would take Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy in fantasy as well. I think it's a bounce back year. Under Sean Payton, I know it is crazy. I think
it's a worse take than my Bowers take.
That I said that they would be better, and that I would take Russell Wilson in like the 12th round.
Would he be your number one quarterback?
No. Deshaun Watson is. Okay. Chargers, Quentin Johnson is going to be, that's what, week 7. He could be coming around. You get the Broncos. Then you go out to, I hate that. You're going to be in Denver, and then you're going to have to fly to Germany. That's dreadful. But luckily you get a bye week after that. So, we'll see. I still think that Raiders are garbage. I don't know what they're doing. Bengals, though. Well, sorry, Raiders on Christmas Day. That's gonna be pretty sick. But the Bengals and Chiefs on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
that is going to be really nice.
Gotta throw a party for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. 325. I think I would have liked a the later game for that. Just continue the party. I think everything's gonna shut down right after that Bengals game. You can't go all day.
Yeah,
that's fair. I guess we're 32, so at some point you have to chill out a little bit. And then Chargers. We have 6 primetime games.
Yep.
With the possibility of 7. What do we have? 2? Do we have 2 Thursday night games?
Yes.
2 Thursday nights and a Monday.
I forget what the Thursday one was.
Yeah. Not
sure. I want to say the other Thursday game was one of the Broncos games.
Okay. Hopefully it's that second one, to be fair, before the Dolphins. But
I think it's the first one. This is October 8th to October 12th. Yep. 4-day.
God, that's quick turnaround. Okay,
So
so
yeah,
first Broncos game.
at least we get them at home though.
Yeah. Minnesota's not too far away, but we'll see. Overall, pretty stoked about the year. I'm so amped to see what the Chiefs do, especially with a quote unquote dodgy wide receiver core. Pacheco is going to be back in action, another year under his belts. We pick up McKinnon again. CEH
Love
is going
it.
to be in the building for what I can guess to be his last year. And then I don't know, man. This Deneric Prince. Maybe
I
it's
wouldn't be
just me.
surprised if he takes CEH's job, man. And
They signed him for 210,000, I think is what it was. So he's definitely going to be on the team. He very well could take CEH's job. Hopefully, I mean, to be
trade him
fair,
for a 5th or 6th or something.
I kind of hope what happens is they play CEH at the beginning of the year. He plays well, and then we can trade him for like a third, fourth,
Yeah, that's a little high.
maybe extra value. He's a good player. We just didn't use him right?
This doesn't work well in our system.
Yeah, I
He's
do hope
not.
the best for him, but
They were expecting him to be Jerick McKinnon,
yeah,
in my opinion. Jerick McKinnon's an overall better catcher, route
pass
runner,
blocker.
pass blocker, all the things.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think that's what they were hoping because they saw how many catches and how well CH played at LSU. Again, though, first round picks on running backs is just so.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad about the pick when we drafted him. I wasn't mad about the player. I was mad about when we picked him. We could have.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have gone defense out on that side, but again, we just won the Super Bowl, and it's pretty much of a, hey Mahomes, who you want, pick who you want, and
we'll see. I hope Mahomes is not 0 for 2 on this Rashi Rice pick, but history could
if we're
repeat
winning
itself.
Super Bowls every 2 years, I'll let Mahomes have a crap pick. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's fair. You plan on going to any games this year?
Try to.
Yeah.
Kind of all depends on family life and how that goes. So, but
yeah,
would love to. Got rid of the season tickets because we had our kid at the end of the year. I think she was born September 13th, and the season starts September 8th. So, kind of a bad time to have season tickets, but.
Yeah, also really bad timing for fantasy drafts.
Yeah,
if I can remember.
Yeah, there was a couple iffy question marks on crap. Can I drink beer here while drafting? Well, she goes into labor right now, so but it all worked out. I made all the drafts that I could.
Yeah, we'll see. B, that's all I have. Glad to be back. I think we are going to be doing a couple of best ball drafts here coming up. Maybe one a week ish. Just to kind of get in the swing of things. There are a lot of huge prize pools on there, so I'm going to be studying up, see what we can do.
I did want to mention I have my Dynasty rookie draft on Sunday at 2.
Okay.
So I'll try and capture that, and we can kind of talk about that of kind of where people are getting drafted.
How many teams?
10 team.
10 team.
4 rounds of rookies.
4 rounds. What do you got? Superflex start 10.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to give us a breakdown of what your team is looking like. Where did you end? What picks do you have?
I have a crap ton, man. I traded a couple guys that I didn't need for some extra picks this year.
Hopefully, first, second round area, not the third and fourth. Those do nothing for you.
Well, that's what I got. It was 2 extra. I got an extra third, and I got 2 extra thirds and an extra fourth. So
okay.
First round pick 8, second round pick 8, third round pick 4, 5, and 8, and then fourth round pick 4 and pick 8.
Yeah, I'd maybe see if I can turn those third round, fourth and fifth picks for maybe something in the second, lurking up to the round one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty big crapshoot there at the end of the second, early third, fourth. Pretty big drop off as well in regards to these rookies like pick 9, 10. I don't know. We'll see. Good luck to you, Brian. Anything else you got for the squad?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Alrighty.
Just hate this time of year.
It's the doldrums.
Nothing really sports wise related that's good. Royals suck. Sporting Kansas City sucks.
Not good.
Would love to have a Kansas City hockey team or a basketball team to enjoy, but preferably I'd rather have hockey over basketball since we have the perfect arena for that. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're expanding those leagues anytime soon. But I would love that if they did. But yeah, no good local sports going on right now, especially when your two teams that you would watch normally are garbage.
Yeah.
So
it's a dumpster fire in both sports, to be fair. So all we have to do is sit here and talk about hypotheticals and chat about the Chiefs. So
and do drafts
and do drafts. A lot of them.
When it's my time to draft, I have no doubt I'll be ready.
Okay. All right. Well, B, good to chat with you. We'll be on here a little bit more now that I have Google Fiber. Hopefully the clarity is clear. We had
Welcome
no
to the
problems
21st century.
It's good to be in 2023. Good place. I hope everyone takes care. This is Boy on the Beard signing off.
Later.